Hello students, in this video we will read the poem Obituary. It is written by A.K. Ramanujan. So it's an 8 stanza poem and the stanza is separated into sets of 7 lines. This poem also, like the previous poem River, it also does not follow a specific rhyme scheme. But that doesn't mean that there are not moments of rhyme and rhythm in the text. Means without having any specific rhyme scheme, we can feel the rhyme and rhythm in the text. So we will start the poem. Father, when he passed on, left dust on a table of papers, left dads and daughters, a bedwetting grandson, named by the toss of a coin after him, a house that leaned slowly through our growing ears on a bent coconut tree in the yard. Being the burning type, he burned properly at the cremation as before, easily and at both ends, left his eye coins in the ashes that didn't look one bit different, several spinal discs, rough, some burned to coal, for sons to pick gingerly and throw, as the priest said, facing east, where 3 rivers met near the railway station. No long-standing headstone with his full name and 2 dates to holding their parenthesis, everything he didn't quite manage to do himself, like his Caesarean birth in a Brahmin ghetto and his death by heart failure in the fruit market. So in this poem, Ramanujan describes the aftermath of a father's death and all the things he left behind, physical and emotional. So the poem begins with the speaker telling the reader that his father died, and when he died, he left behind a lot. So the poet is satirical and ironical in his tone. So there are useless and meaningless things like dust and old papers, but there are memories and rituals which are going to last a lifetime. So in the second half of the poem, the speaker describes how they cremated his father and threw his leftover bones into the river. And in the poem, the poet also speaks about something he learned but is yet to see with his own eyes. So apparently his father left an obituary in a local paper. Now the son is searching the most popular papers for it, and he is hoping to see other thing he left behind. The poem, we can read the first stanza. In the first stanza, the speaker begins by telling the reader who died. And who died? His father. So the speaker focuses on what the father left behind. They were utterly normal things that have taken on new importance, such as dust on a table of papers and dads and daughters. So the father left only dads and daughters. So what he left behind? He also left behind a grandson who is named after him. Little details like the fact that the grandson was named after him because of a toss of a coin. So the tone is very interesting, and this line brings the reader closer to the speaker's family. So the name it was made, or we can say the name was created at the toss of the coin. In the second stanza of the poem, he gives a list of many things that the father left behind. There was a house that had been leaning slowly throughout the speaker's ears. It's on a coconut tree in the yard. Okay, the father has also left a house, and it was on in the coconut. It has been the house, it had been leaning slowly throughout the speaker's ears, and it's on a coconut tree in the yard. So in the next line there are number of things the burning, and it could allude to many practices associated with farming. And to make it more complicated and relate it more easily to the laws, the speaker compares his father's habit of burning to the way. So the speaker says that he was of the burning type. Burning type means all the time he was in a, means he was a very we can say the mood what the type, burning type. So he was promptly burnt to, so when he was cremated, he was very early, very soon he was burnt. So the poet is creating humor, and he tells the reader that the speaker is not intending to speak too heavily on loss and depression. Means he is not sad at the death of his father. Instead, he is celebrating his father's life. In the next line, he refers to eye coins. The poet says, left his eye coins in the ashes that didn't look one bit different. So this is related to the tradition of putting coins on a dead person's eyes when they are buried, or in this case before they are cremated. So he is pointing out one ritual. He is pointing out one tradition. So he draws attention to the fact that the coins did not burn. They were left in the ashes looking the same as when they went into the fire. So alongside the coins are several spinal discs. Now in the stanza 4, to pick gingerly and throw as the priest no long standing headstone with his full name and 2 dates. So the sons, the speaker and his brother engage in a ritual of throwing these bits of bone facing east, where 3 rivers met near the railway station. Now the poet mixes many traditions. This ritual happens somewhere normal, right near a train station. Now he is going on to describe how they chose not to have a headstone for their father. They didn't think that his full name and his 2 dates would do him justice. So the parenthesis which would go around the dates, it would have represented everything he didn't quite manage to do himself. The kind of the things the speaker is thinking of are the father's birth and his death. Now the poet is describing the birth and the death of the father. He was born in a Brahmin ghetto. What is ghetto? Ghetto is, we can say, slum. We can say not a good area, slum area. And he died by heart failure in the fruit market. Right? So, simple places are again contrasted with important events. Now the 6th stanza relates directly back to the title of the poem. The father has left something behind. 2 lines in an inside column of a Madras newspaper sold by the kilo exactly 4 weeks later to street hawkers who sell it in turn to the small groceries where I buy salt, coriander and jaggery newspaper cones that I usually read for fun and lately in the hope of finding these obituary lines, and he left us a changed mother and more than one annual ritual. So the poet, the father has left something behind, 2 lines in an inside column of a Madras newspaper. The son does not know exactly which paper or where the lines are, but he did hear that it is sold by the kilo and would turn up with the street hawkers or those on the street selling goods 4 weeks later. So in these lines the poet makes use of half rhyme with newspaper and street hawkers. Now these sellers bring their papers to the grocery stores where the speaker goes to buy normal everyday products. He usually buys newspaper along with spices such as coriander and jaggery. So these words grocery, jaggery, they are half rhymes and they are connected. In the last 7 lines, the poet or speaker describes reading the paper and hoping to find some lines. So their presence is one thing the father left behind, along with everything else mentioned in the previous stanza. So the poem ends with the speaker describing how his mother has changed after after the death of his father, right? So the mother, she used to apply when the father was alive. She used to wear beautifully colored saris, and she used to apply vermilion. But now she's changed completely. So now he adds the family is left with annual rituals, and these annual rituals, they were started by a man who is no longer alive. So, in this poem, he is talking about the death of his father, and he is not sad or he is not unhappy at his death. Even he is making in a very humorous tone about what he has left behind. So, in this poem, we can find many literary figures. For example, we have assonance and consonance. In my earlier videos, I have already told you what is assonance, what is consonance. So now we will only discuss where is consonance and where is assonance. So there are few examples of this kind of rhyme in the first stanza with the word paper and daughters and grandson. So these words do not rhyme perfectly, but they are very clearly similar. So we can have a musical effect in the poem, though the poem does not follow any specific rhyme scheme. So alliteration is also a technique that is found in this poem, and it helps to create some music in the poem. So one example is dads and with the daughters in the first stanza. So the relationship between these two words is somewhat humorous. Means he has left dads and daughters. So we can say that they begin with the same letter and it only emphasizes the fact. So this poem, it has a humorous tone, and very beautifully the poet has talked about how his father what his father left behind after his death, and he has left only useless and meaningless things like dust and old papers. And he also left behind some memories and some rituals that are going to last a lifetime. I hope you have got the poem. If you have any problem or query, you can send me message. I'll clear. Thank you.